Hello everybody and welcome back to the second episode of my Baldur's Gate 3 playthrough. I hope you've all been staying warm and dry in the crazy big weather we've had in the last week or so, at least in the UK. We had snow in November, which is unheard of. Well, for a long time at least. Snow in November and then immediately followed by a big storm this weekend. So yeah, it's been a very dramatic. We've had some tantrumy weather. But I believe it's now supposed to clear up, so just hope everyone's okay and staying safe, and that you've had a good weekend despite all of the wind and the rain and everything here. It's actually been quite a while since, like between the first episode and now. I did the first one quite some time ago, but I've been busy in between with real life stuff. I took a trip and I've been doing a lot of voice acting, so yeah, it's been nice to sort of be off schedule, so I've got the freedom to sort of fit those things in without feeling too pressured to kind of put in an update or a video or feel bad for not uploading as regularly. So yeah, but thank you for your patience, and I really have been looking forward to getting back into it, especially because I kind of set it up with the first episode and then was all hyped and then it just sort of stopped. So yeah, really looking forward to carrying on that hype, getting back on that hype train. So last time, we obviously started the game. You've got that really long cutscene or intro scene. We've picked up a whole load of companions for our party. So we met Shadowheart on the ship, along with Lae'zel on the ship. Those two don't seem to get along very well. Definitely Shadowheart being very cold and mysterious. We bumped into Astarion, who immediately tried to kill us, or at least threaten us at knife point. And then we pulled Gale out of a magical portal, but he seems very charming. So those are our companions so far. Have I missed anybody? I don't think I've missed anybody. I think that's everybody. Last time I did somehow manage to recruit all of them at the same, have all of them on my party at the same time. I found what it was. It was a sort of a mod that I'd used previously. Although I thought I deleted all of them, there was like one single file left in my folders that I'd missed. So that was left over from a previous mod. I went straight back to camp anyway, and I've now deleted that file, so I think it should be back to normal now. Hopefully it lets me go back into the game, otherwise I'll off screen quickly catch up. But yeah, so all should be back to no mods at all now. Yes, so we've landed. We have a tadpole worm thing in our brain. Yay. All of us do. By the sounds of it, we all seem to have been inflicted with this worm thing from Mindflayers, and at some point might just turn into a Mindflayer ourselves. Why not? So that's kind of the situation at the moment. I believe we're trying to find a cure to try and unworm ourselves so we don't turn into Mindflayers, the like tentacle people. So yeah, that's kind of how things are at the moment. We were on a ship that crashed, and that's how we found each other, and that's pretty much where we left off. So without further ado, shall we see if we can get a cure for our wormy tadpole things? Let's go. Okay, it's letting me in. I was a bit worried it would come up and be like, you had mods before and now you don't. You can't play this game anymore. Not this save anyway, but yeah, thankfully it's let me in, so whoop whoop. Okay. It's probably gonna potato, there we go. I was going to say, it'll potato for a bit while it loads everything in. Look at Astarion doing his hair. He's such a baby girl. Okay. I might have a quick chat with everybody, see if there's anything new to say, and then we will head back out to find our cure.
Something the matter? Fine. What's on your mind? I must admit, you've been a surprise, and not an unpleasant one. Kindred spirits are few and far between for me. Besides, you saved my life aboard the Nautiloid. How can I do anything but sing your praises?
Okay, nothing much to say there. I still have a bunch of people in my party though. So, the standard game rules are you're only supposed to have four people, including your character, in your party, and obviously I've got 5. So maybe it won't let me redo 5 once I remove somebody. So now I need to pick who I'm getting rid of. Now Lae'zel, she's a tough egg. So I feel like I want to keep her because everyone can attack her and she can handle it. Astarion is a really, really good option because I'm not a rogue and I really like having a rogue in the party to pick all the locks and to sneak around. Shadowheart can heal, and she is a bit of a fighter, and Gale he does spells and gets hurt a lot. So he's a glass cannon. He's very, very good at what he does, but if you look at him too hard he'll just die. So I feel like I might lose Gale for now, because I'm used to being like a druid or something that can at least do some healing, but as a sorcerer there's not a whole lot I can do in that realm, so I think it makes sense to keep Shadowheart so she can heal us. So yeah, it's a shame because I find Gale the most charming and the nicest companion to chat with on the road, but needs must, and I know that there's probably going to be some fights ahead.
Go ahead, I'm listening.
I need you to remain in camp for a while rather than on the road with me.
I question the wisdom of that decision, but so be it.
Perhaps we'll travel together again later.
I'll be here in the meantime, idling away the hours.
I know it makes sense for like the mechanics of the game, but I find it so strange that it's like, oh, we can't be travelling on the road with 5 of us, so you wait here on your own where you're vulnerable and can't help us. I know from a game perspective it makes sense, but I feel like from a narrative perspective it just seems so weird to do that. Okay, so now I've got my 4 people in my party, so that's how it should be. Actually, let me see if I can re-recruit him and see what it says. Join me, why don't you? There's plenty of adventure to be had.
With pleasure. Lead on.
I don't know why it's doing that. I'm pretty sure I deleted all the files. I've either missed one again, or I don't know. I don't understand. Okay, I'm just not going to have extra people in my party. I can just make that a choice myself, and then it's like me having no mods. So
I question the wisdom of that decision, but so be it.
Probably for the rest of this playthrough I'm going to be doing this and editing it out, or doing it sort of when I'm not recording. If you notice that my inventory changes between sort of glances at it, or that my equipment might change slightly between glances at it, then it's just because it's really boring to watch and I don't want to put everybody through watching me sort out my inventory. But just to give you an overview, you've obviously got your equipment slots here. This is your like fighting equipment, and this is like your relaxing at camp in the evening stuff. It even has an underwear slot. I believe if I go on to the other characters, they all have funny things for that underwear. So embroidered into the cloth. If you are reading this, you managed to bed or behead me. Either way, you got lucky. For Astarion,
No time to dally.
Shadowheart's is if pants could brood. Lae'zel, that's going to be interesting.
Will be done.
Built for function rather than fun. So
Never a dull moment.
yes, so you've got your like underclothes here, like your at home clothes, your out and about on the road fighting clothes, your weapons, torch and instrument if you choose to play an instrument, and then all of your other bits and bobs in here. I'm not going to go through updating my equipment and armour and gear either, unless I find something that I feel like I really need to talk about it. I'm just going to sort of upgrade as I go. I'm not that interested in talking about sort of different builds or focusing on all the little nitty-gritty mechanics and stats of everything, so that just doesn't interest me, and I'm just probably not going to pay much attention. I'll just glance through equip stuff. So you might notice my gear and appearance is changing as well, but yeah, that's why basically I'm just not going to sort of like include everything, because I'll bore everybody. Like, you guys probably just want to see the story and stuff, not all of this boring stuff. So yeah, just to let you know, I'll be doing that. I can send everything to this chest here in camp, and then it takes it off of my inventory because there is a weight limit, which I don't doubt you'll see come into play later when I start to move really slowly because I'm over encumbered. So this basically, if I send a bunch of stuff to camp, it takes it out of my inventory and therefore is no longer weighing me down. And then I can mark things as wares, and then when I get to a shopkeeper, I can literally just sell everything I've marked as wares in one go, and then just get gold for all the stuff that I don't want to carry around or keep. So that's kind of how it works. But yeah, that's about all I'll probably say on inventory and stuff. And yeah, just if you notice everything changing here and there, it's nothing secret or dodgy going on. It's just I'm sparing you having to watch me do all my housekeeping. All right. Which direction did we come from? I'm already lost. So, done all around here. Not gone over here. We've not gone over here yet. I'm gonna head over to the ruins. Go speak to Warren.
What's up for discussion?
You! Not another step, hear me? Boss! Got company up here!
He doesn't look well.
What's this then? Trying to creep around us and loot the crypt? Not happening. Or is it the ship you're after? Don't matter either way. It's ours. All of it.
I mean no harm, I'm just looking around. That ship is full of monsters, I wouldn't go near it. I think that ship's an invasion force, run while you can. The only thing you own is your life. Leave before I take that too. I'm gonna go for persuasion. That ship is full of monsters, I wouldn't go near it. Okay, so we need to hit a 10, rolling our 20-sided dice. Do I add a bonus? Oh. It's a cantrip. So a cantrip, I'll explain magic a bit later, but you can only cast so many spells per day. Cantrips cost you nothing. They're free. You don't have to worry about... You can cast them as many times as you like for the whole day. So that's quite good. Okay, I was going to say, sometimes they know afterwards that you've cast a spell on them, but it doesn't look like they will on this one. So that means I get 2 dice, and it will take whichever one is highest. So I get like 2 chances, and I get to pick the higher number. It's only 10, so 16, yay. Oh, 19. Because I added my charisma.
Well, in that case, come on, you lot. No point in getting killed. Second worm gets the cheese and all.
Second mouse gets the cheese, no?
Nobody's getting any damn cheese. Now move it.
Okay, that was good.
It would have been quicker to kill them.
Alright, Lae'zel. So I can see from the padlock icon that this door's locked. Anybody in the party can try picking the lock, but Astarion is a rogue, so he's got a lot of talent in this sort of thing. So I'm more likely to succeed with him. So 13 plus 7, so 20. That's why it's good to use the experts. You know what's on the other side.
You're dead!
Ah, I thought they'd all left, but apparently they left their friends behind.
You fight well. Perhaps our survival isn't such a distant prospect.
Could have. Father, they will die for you.
Father? Well, this place isn't creepy at all.
Dream in red.
Why does she keep saying these things? I forgot about this. This is, I know those of you who've only just seen this game for the first time won't know any different, but like their sort of idle things that they'd say as you clicked around the map were never like bloodthirsty like this. It was always on my way or something, not like they will die for you. Oh, lockpicking impossible. There are 2 doors, one's not locked and the other one is locked. This one says lockpicking impossible, so I can attack it, I can smash the door down. But I think I will go into this room first.
Clear off! We got here first.
I can't tell. Is this the same group and like the guys upstairs just ditched? Or is this like a separate group that they would have come down and been like, wait, someone beat us to it? Oh no, we're all very hurt. This isn't good. Okay, okay. Okay, so Morrigan's health has gone to 0 or lower, which means she's now incapacitated. She can't do anything but lie there until either we leave her too long and she dies, or she stabilizes if she gets lucky, or we can give her a hand up or heal her or something, and then she's back in the game. So that's her situation at the moment. As Astarion is right there, I'm going to get him to give her a hand. And now she's back up. Only on 1 point though, so she's still very low, but she's okay. When I'm bringing up this red marker, it shows like what areas are like seen at the moment, because I like to get him to run to somewhere hidden, and then he can do a lot more damage if he's hidden. So I press this button so I can see what areas are currently in people's line of sight, which is really everywhere right now. So all he can really do is tuck himself off to the corner. Yeah, so like now he's off of that red square. I can get him to hide.
The subtle approach. And
then nobody knows where he's gone because he's hidden. Okay, so I'm in a bit of a situation. This isn't looking so good. So Shadowheart is dead. I'm dying and about to be dead any second. Lae'zel's incapacitated but doing okay. And so now that just leaves Astarion. This is a very long-winded way of doing it, but I did play a rogue in my previous playthrough, as you know, and I did like to not cheat, but very sneakily, roguishly get myself out of these situations by running away, hiding, and then stealth killing everybody. And while they're like, why do we keep dying? I swear someone's here, just disappearing before they can find me again. I'm just like some sort of phantom going around killing everybody. So I'm going to try doing that. It's going to take a while, but hopefully it works. And that's why I have a rogue in the party. He's my plan B. And he also gets me into all the locked places. Okay. You have that. Right, now I've got a bunch of dead people we need to fix. We have some scrolls of Revivify, which anybody can use, doesn't have to be like a magical person. And then we get a couple of opportunities to do this per day, but we've got short rests, which is kind of, rather than going all the way back to camp and having a full night's sleep, you just kind of sit down for an hour and just catch your breath and have a snack, stuff like that. So if we do that. So I've just done 2 of those in a row, so now we're all back to full health. Oh my goodness, that was a fight. It absolutely throttled me.
Always room for more.
I just like going around lighting all the lights, turning all the lights on.
Ooh, that's curious.
Lever.
What was that?
Doesn't sound healthy. I think that might have been the door. There we go, isn't that much nicer? Yeah, this is much more cozy now. It's less creepy. Oh, door's opened. Okay, I'm gonna do a save. Because I don't want to do that fight again. Dank crypt. Why do I feel like there's gonna be dead things in here?
This place wasn't built for the living.
Death is too powerful a force for even a single god to contain. It is a duty that has been passed from hand to hand, splintered into smaller pieces. Disease, war, funeral rites. But there must always be an overseer of the cycle as life falls away. For countless eons it was Jenga? The Lord of the end of everything presided over the mortality with his unblinking stare, until even he grew weary. Young Baal, Bane, and Merkel must have thought themselves conquerors when they came for the god of death, yet he used their ambitions to free himself. Merkel claimed primacy over death from Jurgel's bargain, but even he does not rule death alone. What is murder if not the most violent of deaths, seized by Baal in his incessant greed? What need would there be for noble Kelemvor to judge passing souls if one deity could hold the process entire? Even gods can die after all. Those who worship death should remember that above all else. Jurgelburgle. Okay, that door's locked, but can be lockpicked.
If not over, then through.
This one is unlocked.
Cursed to put my hands on everything.
I don't like it when you fail a perception check. Perception is like, you know, to see and look out for things. So if you failed a perception check, it meant that there was something for you to notice, and you've not noticed it. So it could be something hidden, it could be like a brick looking a bit odd in the wall and there's like loot behind it that you won't get. Or it could be that there was a trap and you're just going to walk straight into it. It can be a number of different things. I don't know who else is quite perceptive.
Someone there?
Are you perceptive?
There is work to do.
Shadowheart? Oh no.
Blackets will be done.
Lae'zel? Okay.
Shouldn't have wished to live in
Well-
more interesting times. With haste.
Button. Oh, there we go. So I have spotted a vent that I can disarm, so it's probably trapped.
Keep a blade close.
I'm going to use Astarion for this because he has very dexterous hands. Can I loot it now? Ooh. The Watcher's Guide. And a key. I wonder if that's the key to that door. Or this door. Maybe.
There are traps about.
Two ones in a row? What? So if you get a 1, it's just an automatic failure. Even if you have all your things to add to it, it's just you failed. If you roll a 20, it's an automatic success as well. But alas, 2 in a row? That's so unlikely. Okay, I get so much inspiration from doing certain events. So I had 3, so I'm going to use my... What was it, 2? I'm going to use my last one anyway. I better not get another one. Okay. I just don't know what happens if I fail this. I feel like it's going to set off all the traps. No! What is wrong with you, Astarion? I'm about to find out what happens. Oh, is that it? Oh, I used up all my inspiration and it just makes a puddle. A little muddy puddle. Of grease. A little greasy puddle. That's not that bad then. Okay. I feel like I was overreacting. I feel a little bit
All
silly
is
now.
ash and meat. Let's have a look, Throb. Blood whispers.
Okay, and this is where we first showed up on the beach. And there was that door that was locked, so I went up into the Nautiloid instead. But we still haven't gone that other way.
Oh, for a skeleton key.
That's like a pun because we're in a crypt.
Light on my feet.
Okay. Entombed scribe.
Armed scribes. But no sign of a struggle.
I wonder what was so subversive about their words that they commanded protection.
This book is far lighter than it should be with such a massive lock.
Ooh. Muster your will and channel a surge of magic through the lock. I'm gonna try that one. Can I add? Do Tides of Chaos. Whenever I use Tides of Chaos, there's a greater chance of me having that chaotic magic. Like, it's called wild magic, but basically magic will happen and I don't know what it will be and I have no control over it, and it could be good, it could be bad. But I kind of like the chaos, so tempting. Right, I should definitely do it now, she says. Okay.
As the lock opens, weak magic pulses from the book. Such a waste, binding it to dry, dead parchment. What was once script is now an obliterated scrawl. You have a sense these are names, a list. But of what?
Examine the book more closely. Okay. Okay. 1 point.
Gods. These are the names of gods, once lost but now restored after the Second Sundering. The last 3 names in this book sit close together, but are so devastated by the scrawl as to be unreadable. Entire pantheons have dwindled and been reborn, silently recorded by this book.
Look at his little goatee. It's like a little heart. I'm sorry, you're supposed to be very scary. Oh, look at your like weird finger claw things. Do you reckon they were like finger claws and he's just stuck one on the end of his beard? They look the same. Scribe of the Dead. It's ironic that he's like growing life. Like there's loads of life just like blooming around him. Good job, I just took all their swords, although I missed those two.
Hells. Something just woke up down here.
Okay.
Let them come.
I
The
knew
darkness can be to our advantage.
I knew that was going to happen. I didn't realise it would happen so soon. Right.
No one back home will ever believe this.
Okay, all done.
Best be on my way.
I've not fully got rid of the rogue in me, so I'm still like, ooh, treasure. Okay. Sarcophagus. Richly adorned sarcophagus. Another undead. He looks mad.
So he has spoken, and so thou standest before me. Right, as always. What a curious way to awaken. Now, I have a question for thee. What is the worth of a single mortal's life?
She looks like she's looking forward to that question. Okay, so number 1, quite the question. What's the reason for it? 2, so he has spoken. What he are you talking about? Little spooked by the crawling out of the tomb bit. What are you? A peaceful undead. Interesting. Why aren't you attacking me? Or I can just straight up attack him. I'm gonna say a little spooked by the crawling out of the tomb bit. What are you? I feel like Morrigan wouldn't be spooked, but also would be like a show off.
I am not the same as those thou hast slain, if that is what thou askest. Wilt thou answer my question?
Wilt thou? I've left Morrigan quite open. She seems very murdery, but also not necessarily standoffish. Okay, ask away.
So, I ask again, what is the worth of a single mortal life?
Mortals live to die, to be slaughtered. That feels like what her inner voice would say from what I've heard. Mine seems worth little, as my blood calls me to harm others. That's definitely a dirge one. No one life is worth more than any other. We are all equal. That depends on a person's deeds. Life's only value is as currency. It doesn't matter to me otherwise. Each life is of infinite value and merits sacrificing everything for. The only life that matters is mine. Depends on the mortal. I want to go for the Dark Urge one, because obviously this is all very new to me. Mine seems worth little, as my blood calls me to harm others.
A life and how it is lived are different equations. Very well. I am satisfied. We have met, and I know thy face. We will see each other again at the proper time and place. Farewell.
Something's on my mind.
We have nothing more to discuss. Continue on thy way, as if I were not here. I must attend this place after so many years away. We will see each other again soon.
You seem very certain of that. How?
The mechanics of fate would be difficult to explain to one such as thyself.
So you calling me stupid?
Regardless, it will occur.
Okay, Mr. Mystery Man. I've decided, I think... I wasn't really sure what to expect with the Dark Urge. And obviously as she's running around, she's yelling like very bloodthirsty things. And I wasn't kind of sure what I wanted her to be like. But I think it would be kind of interesting if, obviously, like she said, her blood calls her to harm others. Like there's something, I assume, innate and primitive and bloodthirsty like inside of her. But I quite like the idea of juxtaposing that with her personality, which is more like she doesn't want to be like that, and then the two are in constant conflict. Like she's got this bloodthirsty desire, like this urge inside her, this dark urge, if you will, inside of her to hurt and harm, and then but on the surface she wants to be good. I don't know, I feel like that would be a really interesting contradiction. So in terms of like dialogue, when she's in conversations, I think that will just help me know sort of what she would say. Yeah, maybe she just sort of loses herself sometimes and gets a bit murdery, but like she doesn't want to be like that. She wants to live a better life than that. So I think that's what I'm going to go for. As I learn more about her. I don't know if that will fit into her story because I don't know what her story is yet. But I think that's quite interesting. Now because she got sort of her memory wiped, didn't she? She's got like amnesia. So maybe she used to be all evil, but now you've stripped away all of the experience, trauma, conditioning, whatever it is that has made her this way. Maybe even some sort of genetic, I don't know. Maybe sort of when you take away all of the things she's been through, and it's just who she actually is, and she's actually nice.
After all this
interesting. Aww, he's cute in like a dead guy kind of way. God, look at that. So down over there, was where we woke up. This is where I found the body of... I can't remember what the guy's name was.
I'll be keeping an eye on you. Understand?
If I choose to kill you, you will not even see it.
Ah, the girls are bickering again. So yeah, this whole place was probably more like this, like beautiful and scenic, like a lovely canyon sort of thing, and then we crashed in on this giant tentacle ship. We've now done this bit, so I think it's just up here. We'll head on. I think first though, I think I'm going to go back to camp because we've gone through 2 pretty big fights. There's these bits here which are your spell slots, so you don't get like an unlimited number of spells you can cast. You have like a certain allocation and it's up to you how you choose to use it. But I've kind of burnt through all of that allocation.
What am I to do?
So they're all grey. They're normally blue when you've got them to use, but they're all grey. So
I have such a headache.
and she's got such a headache. So I think if I go back to camp, Shadowheart can heal up. We can all get our spell slots back and just be a little more battle ready in case there's anything more coming up. And then we'll carry on the next day. So back to camp. Let's see if anyone else has got anything to talk about. I don't think there's really anything new to add.
Very well.
But there's like a daytime and an evening version. So in the daytime version, there's nothing for them to talk about, but we'll see when we switch to evening. So if I go end the day, you can see. Is that? There's 2 Gales. So when they've got something they really want to talk about, they'll get an exclamation mark above their head. But at the moment, only Gale has that. Let's go and speak to him. The Gales, apparently.
Be with you in a moment.
He needs a mirror. What are you doing? Neat trick. Typical wizard using magic just to admire his own beard. Make it dance or breathe fire. What? I'm tempted because that's a wild magic one, which I'm obviously not used to. But that feels very out of character for her, so I'm gonna say neat trick.
Not a trick, my friend. Magic. Be that as it may. Ceramorphosis. What does it make you think of?
First and foremost, that damn tadpole. Until quite recently, nothing at all. If you're about to start a lecture, I'm not interested. I'm going to say the first one. First and foremost, that damn tadpole.
Spot on. Day 1, fever and memory loss. Day 2, hallucinations and greying skin. Day 3, hair loss and blood leaking from all orifices. Need to go on?
No. Not. I'm going to go not.
Day 4, excruciating pain as the skeleton and organs reform and reposition. Day 5, the host personality has disappeared. Fingers and toes and limbs elongate. I take it you get the picture?
I do, but you might as well finish the picture. I'm going to say I've had enough.
Can't say I blame you. My point is this. Our orifices remain blissfully unblooded, our heads remain clear, and our blood temperature normal. Any expert will agree this is abnormal.
Long live the abnormal. Can you explain why the symptoms aren't showing? And what makes you the expert? I'm going to say... Can you explain why the symptoms aren't showing?
That, alas, is where my knowledge fails me. A rogue might call it luck, a priest might call it fate. As for myself, I'm a pragmatic. I see the silence before the storm. Something to sleep on. We should get some rest. Go ahead. I'm listening.
Anything more to say?
Abominations grow inside us. Our bones should ache. Our mouths should bleed. Yet we thrive. It is madness. Keep your rest short. Time is not our ally.
She's so angsty. Ooh. Well, that's cool. That was a cool trick.
I saw you getting a lecture from our magical friend. I have to say, I thought you'd look worse, but no. Not a tentacle to be seen.
That's what everyone's saying. Is it so strange? I'm hoping it'll stay that way. Not yet. I could say the same to you. I did find it's weird that he's been like, you haven't turned yet, not we haven't turned yet.
Indeed you could. We're all doing surprisingly well, given the circumstances. I'm not taking anything for granted, of course. First sign of change, and I'll have to stop that pretty little heart of yours. I am open to suggestions. Knives, poison, strangulation, whatever you'd prefer.
Don't make me choose. There are too many good options. Who am I? I'd prefer not to die. A knife, that seems quick. Poison, that sounds painless. I would beg to differ from what I've heard of poisons. Try it and I'll spill your guts. I'm not sure. How would you like to go? I feel like of the options, what did he say? Poison, knife, or strangulation? I feel like, I can't believe I'm having this conversation on YouTube, but knife sounds pretty painful but quick. Poison sounds slow and painful. Unless it's some sort of poison that can knock you out first. From what I've heard, that's really not a nice way to go. Strangulation, that sounds uncomfortable and dragged out. Maybe knife, but once I'm asleep, so I barely know. And drunk and asleep, and then the knife, I think. A knife, that seems quick.
A classic. One good thrust to the heart and you're gone. We need a good blade, of course. Don't want to waste time hacking and prodding with a dinner knife.
No.
Well, I'm getting ahead of myself. This is all a worst-case scenario, obviously.
Does he want to kill me? And you? How should I kill you?
Oh, my dear. I'd like to see you try. Now, let's get some rest. The sooner we start tomorrow, the better our chances of keeping this hypothetical.
He's a sly one. Oh yeah, I forgot to move that. Ignore the crate. It was an accident. Shadowheart was carrying it, but it was locked. So I made her drop it on the floor and then totally forgot to unlock it and I've just left it there.
I couldn't help but overhear. Well, alright, I could have helped, but didn't. Anyway, I feel the same. Other than the occasional mental exchange, it's almost as if we're not infected. The voice on the ship told me I'd become a beautiful weapon. What do you think it meant?
Anything's possible, but we still need to find a healer. Sounds like it had plans for us. Who knows, could have been a hallucination. I'm just glad that we're still alive. Maybe it's a compliment. I'm gonna say, sounds like it had plans for us.
Whatever they were, those plans were interrupted by the dragons. Either way, we can't take the lack of symptoms for granted. We have to find a healer. Well, I've said my piece. Get some rest.
Yes, ma'am. She likes to eavesdrop, doesn't she? Okay, that was everybody. Time to get some sleep. For dinner, we're going to be having fish, an actual pig's head, sausages, the rest of the pig. Potato, cheese, red pepper, apple. Oh, apple and pork go quite well, to be fair. With some coffee at night. And what looks like a spirit of some kind. Bon appetit. Very sneaky. Okay, now it's morning. I imagine there's nothing to talk to anyone about?
You have a manner of irresistible desperation about you. I like it.
Thank you. It's one of my best characteristics, my desperation. Oh, there he is. Didn't realise he was there until I saw the thing on the map. Hello, Withers.
We meet again, as predicted. I shall be here in thy camp for whenever thou hast need of my services.
Not to be rude, but what are you? What kind of services can a skeleton offer? Care to explain why you're helping me? I'd prefer it if you'd leave. Just attack him. Or just leave. I'm gonna ask what he is.
There are many answers to that question. None are important.
If you won't answer, then get out of my camp. Skeletons aren't supposed to be able to talk.
Correct.
Are you going to explain further?
No.
Oh, I like Withers. What kind of services can a skeleton offer?
A mending of the threads between life and death. Should thou or any of thy compatriots perish, I will cleave soul to body once more.
Sounds like a pretty good friend to have, to be honest. That's incredibly powerful magic. Why is it so easy for you? You mentioned a cost. What is it? And look very ugly doing it. Oh, the sass. Helpful. No one's dead on my side at the moment, though. I'm going to say that's incredibly powerful magic.
Because it is my calling. There is little else to explain.
He doesn't like small talk, does he? You mentioned a cost. What is it?
A matter of coin.
That's outrageous. So I can change my class for 100. Or if I lose any of my friends and don't have a Revivify scroll like I used before, then it's 200 gold per person. And I can just poof them back at camp. Handy. Very handy. Okay, thank you, Withers. Nice canoe.
I hear shouting up ahead.
We should check it out, but be careful.
Open the bloody gate! Nobody gets in! Zevlor's orders!
That pack of goblins will be on us any second!
What's going on?
Goblins are on our tail! Open the gate, Zevlor, now!
You let goblins here? Where is the druid?
Please! There's no time!
By the 9 hells! Open the gate!
may spell
Shit!
quarrelling.
Damnable roach! Provoke the blade! And suffer its sting.
What an entrance. This bar at the top tells you what order everyone goes in, so there's obviously a lot of people in this fight, as we can see. Astarion's turn.
That was the last of them. Inside! All of you! More may follow! Open the gate!
Oh yeah, our gate guy's dead. Right. I'm gonna quickly rub all the bodies and then I'll run in.
What's inside?
There are children here, you fool! We was running for our lives.
You led them straight to us, and you let them take the druid too? Unbelievable!
Where there's one goblin, there's 10. I'm leaving before the horde shows up. One fight just ended and now you're picking another. Relax. Druid, those goblins didn't take any prisoners. You can cough up my payment anytime now. Ah, backstabbing. This feels just like home. Oh, I've got a cat butt. Look at this cat butt. Do you get halfway through standing up and then just stop? I'm gonna say one fight just ended and now you're picking another. Relax.
Tell that to the dead at the gate.
Shut it, Horns! I'd be lying dead next to the goblins if you'd stalled any longer.
My duty is to this camp.
Oh, God forbid you risk your precious tail. But I shouldn't be surprised. Foul-bloods ain't known for courage.
That was a bit racist.
You see the tiefling's jaw clench. He's about to erupt.
Stand back and watch. Take a swing at the tiefling. Aim a blow at the human, trying to knock him flat on his back. More violence won't bring back those you lost. Stop and think. See, normally I'm not about violence. My character, however, I'm gonna aim a blow at the human. Oh no! And I'm gonna miss or something. Tides of chaos. Oh, wish me luck. Oh no! -1? I thought it was +1. I'm so weak. Okay. And I punch myself in the face somehow. Oh, I can try again. No, I'm just gonna let this play out. I'm gonna let the universe do its thing.
He acts before you can intervene. With a thunk, the armored man collapses, unconscious.
Fair.
Enough. The goblins have found us. No doubt the beasts will be back. We need to pack up and leave. Immediately!
Don't know why you're talking to me, I just got here.
Fighting goblins as they did it for once.
Zevlor.
Now that's settled. I wouldn't have looked to a drow for help, but I'm grateful all the same. I'm Zevlor.
I take my thanks and coin. Do you have something against drow? I don't think she'd ask that. I feel like getting to her age, I think she's probably aware of what people have against drow. So my character's a drow, and a drow is basically a type of elf. The drows traditionally live in the Underdark, which is like caves and stuff deep beneath the surface. And that's why I assume that's why their skin's often a very like ashen colour. They are known for being very violent and brutal and have a very harsh society and culture. So to the other races, you can imagine the kind of reputation they have when one comes walking into town. They're quite rare in general to be seen, especially on the surface. But also a lot of people, I think, associate them with violence and trouble and all of that good stuff. So I think she'd know by now, rather than be like, oh, do you have something against us? I think she'll be like, oh, I get this a lot. I'm Morrigan.
Well met. I should warn you,
Visitors are no longer welcome in this grove. Whatever your business, I'd see to it quickly. The druids are forcing everyone out. This attack will only strengthen their resolve.
I have no quarrel with druids. Why are they forcing you out? Those goblins, have there been many attacks like that? I won't be staying long, I just need to find a healer. Yeah.
Goblin got you. The druid Halsin's a renowned healer, but he didn't make it back from Aradin's expedition. If it's not too serious, you could try his apprentice Nettie. She's with the other druids in the inner grove. They've started a ritual to cut the grove off from the world outside. We can't stay, but we'll be slaughtered if we leave. We're no fighters.
I don't know, I saw him fight at the gate, and I'd say they're pretty good fighters. This ritual, is there no way to convince the druids to stop it? What brought you here? What brought you here?
We're refugees from Elturel. We took shelter here after gnolls attacked us on the road. We were bound for Baldur's Gate, and it was too late to turn back. Elturel had no place for tieflings after the Descent.
The Descent, an infernal conspiracy that had seen the entire city of Elturel briefly dragged to the Hells.
Oof. If your people survived that, they'll survive anything. Is there a place for tieflings anywhere? Maybe your people should have stayed in Hell. Hell is like an actual place you can go to in this realm. If your people survived that, they'll survive anything.
So I hoped, but we've lost so many already. And more will die if we're forced out again.
This ritual, is there no way to convince the druids to stop it?
I've tried. Korga, their new first druid, won't even see me. You, though? I know it's not your business, but she owes you for saving this place. Perhaps you could persuade her. For more time to prepare, if nothing else.
I want to try and help. I'll do what I can. My head's a wreck. I've got too much else to deal with right now. Or, what are you offering for my aid? I used those ones a lot when I was a rogue. I want to try and help. I'll do what I can.
Really? We're messengers now.
We'd owe you a great debt. If we're forced to leave now, we won't make it to the city. You'll find the druids at the heart of the grove. Please, make them see sense. Oh, and if it's of any concern, you're brave to walk around without hiding your heritage. I'll make sure everyone knows that you helped us at the gate.
Aww, I never had that before. It's like a drow thing. I'm just thinking, if we need their help to sort out these tadpole things, she'd probably be like, well, I need to speak to them anyway, might as well while I'm there.
First, I damn near die at the hands of goblins. Then, a foul blood takes his frustrations out on me. I'm done with this hellhole.
Those two must have history.
You kind
Never
of
mind their
provoked him.
history. Let's look for help.
Okay.
Hells! We can't just leave. They're kin!
I'll not gamble our lives, our futures, on people who are as good as dead. We must leave for Baldur's Gate at once.
Can we all just take a moment, please?
What's the point in blazing spells if we don't bloody use them? We should stay! These people aren't fighters. We can help!
Or yell louder. That's fine too.
You should all stay. A single blade can make the difference. I'm gonna say nothing. I feel like this isn't my place.
Roland's right, sis. We should leave while we still can.
Or would you deny your brother here his chance at fortune in Baldur's Gate?
Fine! Let's sneak away like God's damned cowards. But if something happens to these people, it's on us. I hope you know that.
Okay. Hello, Aaron.
Refugees, adventurers, and even a drow. No one in years, and suddenly we're overwhelmed. Well met. And thank you for beating back those goblins. Most brave of you. Is there anything you need? Act fast if you do. The ritual will be complete before too long.
Are you really locking down the grove?
I know it's drastic, but more monsters seem to terrorize this region every day.
What about the people here?
We druids will be safe. As for those that took refuge here, well, may Sylvanas guard them as they continue their travels.
You just said the region's overrun by monsters. They won't survive by themselves. Dire times, high stakes, I understand. Seems like most are tieflings. They'll be fine. They have devilish powers. Or leave. I'm gonna go for the first one. Let's go for a bit of guilt tripping.
As I said, it's a drastic measure. But the survival of the grove is paramount. There just aren't enough supplies to support everyone.
What are you selling?
Just some bits and bobs I no longer need.
Okay, I'm gonna go and get rid of all my wares.
This place is a bloody death trap, not a sanctuary. You should clear off while you can.
Good work, kid. You're all heroes.
The ox makes you uneasy. Try to discern why. Fine-looking beast you are. Ugh, hideous cow. I go with Arcana. 10. Oh. I want to try again one more time. That's better.
Something's off. This creature isn't what it appears to be.
Moo!
Moo. You've got the hungry ox, the bored ox, and then a strange ox, which is smaller. Moo.
The waiting's getting to me. If we left, we could at least make a run for it.
Go on. Give me a best shot. Not bad. Again.
I can't do it. I'm not like you.
Umi, I don't need you to be like me. You just have to buy enough time to run. Come on. I believe in you. You can do this.
Hey there, can I have a word? This whelp is hopeless. You're wasting your time. It's good advice, child. You do well to listen. I'm gonna say, can I have a word?
Well met. The blade of frontiers at your...
The man's smile bends downward, and his thoughts become yours.
Well, when,
you are the
buddies?
blade of frontiers racing through the wastes of Avernus. Just ahead, a diabolical figure, red skin, single curled horn, blazes with flame, bloodied great axe held high.
Hell's great fires. You were on the ship.
Yes, and we both carry parasites. Another escapee. Thank the gods. I need all the friends I can get. Who was that woman, the one in your thoughts? Or peer further into its mind. I'm gonna say yes, we both carry parasites.
Doomed to shed our skin and become a lithid, or so the stories go. But we haven't sprouted any tentacles. Not yet, anyway. Could just be good luck. I'm not so...
Your minds collide once more. Will chases the fiend ignited with rancor. She is an infernal war devil. a threat to the living. Evil incarnate.
Shit! You saw her. Advocatus Diaboli.
Advocatus Diaboli. A devil's advocate. A champion in the blood war between diabolical forces and demons.
Who is she? Hunting in the hells. Dangerous territory. Cavorting with devils, I see. You should consider better company. A devil's advocate. Do you think she'll bring the blood war to Faerun? I'm gonna say hunting in the hells. Dangerous territory.
I'm no stranger to the infernal. Better to slay a devil before her fires burn common folk to ash. Her name is Karlak, an archdevil soldier I swore on my good eye to kill. I tracked her through the hells to the Mindflayer ship, but the damned Illithids infected me before I could end her. She's out there now, preying on the innocent. I don't kill her, she'll leave behind nothing but a trail of corpses.
Let's join forces. I'll help you cast this devil back to the hells. I'm looking for a cure to cure this infection. I suggest we partner up. Good luck with your devil problem. It seems your work's cut out for you. I'm gonna say I'm looking to cure this infection. I suggest we partner up.
A worthy ally, perhaps. But I'll waste no time chasing devils while a tadpole feasts on our skulls.
I've seen your people in battle. I reckon you are no mere warrior, but a god's damned army. I'd be a fool to let you turn your back. Pledge me your talents, and I'll pledge you mine. I'll presume that's Githyanki for yes. Now let's move.
Not quite.
The famous Blade of Frontiers in the flesh. Clever, this hero act you've got going.
Hero, Blade. Name strangers gave me. My friends call me Wyll.
Excellent. If we ever become friends, I'll know what to call you.
Oh my. This is going to be a fun journey.
She's so catty. Okay. Oh, we've done it again. I'm gonna level him up, and then I will ditch him. Because I can't have 5 people in my party. The reason why having more than 4 people is a problem is because the game, I don't think, balances to the number of people you have. So if I have 5 people rather than 4, I'm essentially making the game a lot easier for myself. So it just doesn't feel fair. That's the reason why it's important that I stick to the rules.
You've got something to say?
Oh wow, I've got a lot of things to say apparently. How did the Blade of Frontiers end up chasing a devil in the hells? Tell me, Wyll, how did you come to be the Blade of Frontiers? I've noticed that your stone eye. Did you lose it in battle? I don't suppose you've come across an expert healer in your travels. I've got no memory of my past. Could the parasite have done that? I've got this bloodthirst, an urge to destroy, maim, kill. I love that there's no question following that. She just wants to let him know. She just feels like he needs to be aware. Go to camp and wait for me there. I'm gonna say, I've got no memory of my past. Could the parasite have done that?
Seems unusual to me. Then again, we're talking about tadpoles inserted into our brains by rubber-skinned tentacle monsters. There's nothing usual about it.
That's fair.
All the more reason to stick close. I think you'll agree.
I don't suppose you've come across an expert healer in your travels.
I've come to know a fair few village clerics, but none with the skill to pull these worms from our heads. From what I understand, there's a healer called Nettie in the Grove. Perhaps she's got the talent. We should pay her a visit.
I've noticed your stone eye. Did you lose it in battle?
A most vicious one, in fact. It's made from pure bloodstone, carved from the Galena Mountains just north of the Moonsea. A reminder that sometimes blood must be shed and sacrifices must be made. But that story is reserved for lifetime friends and calmer days.
Lean in and examine the eye more closely.
Tiny grooves spider across the eye's surface. It resembles a sending stone, used to confer with distant contacts.
Isn't your eye a sending stone?
A sending stone? Nothing so special, I assure you.
You watch and listen for signs of deceit, but sense nothing unusual.
How does the Blade of Frontiers end up chasing a devil in the Hells?
Karlach's fires raged in Baldur's Gate before she escaped to Avernus, as my source told it, and she was planning to return. One of the archdevils Zariel's own, chaos incarnate, a devil with pure fire for a heart. I made my way to Avernus to stop her. She fled from my reach, even climbed aboard the Mindflayers ship as it screeched through the Hells. I followed in close pursuit. I can't bear to imagine the lives Karlach might be taking, the damage she might be doing.
Who is this source of yours? It's not exactly easy to journey to the Hells from the Sword Coast. How did you manage it?
A powerful friend with a keen interest in privacy. I'm sworn to say no more.
Let's move on to other matters.
All right. Anything more we should discuss?
Tell me, Will, how did you become the Blade of Frontiers?
My father once said, one does not pursue a champion's life. One merely answers its call. So it was for me. I was hunting near the Cloakwood when I heard it. A child crying out from a lone farmstead. I found him in the fields, flanked by goblins. His mother's corpse blared into the soil next to him. I don't remember much of the battle, but I remember drying the boy's tears after.
What act could be finer than saving a life? You must have felt proud. And he named you the Blade of Frontiers. Whatever became of the boy, I wonder. Goblins, petrified vermin, easy to kill, hardly worth getting worked up about. That's savage. Whatever became of the boy, I wonder.
I left him with his uncles. 5 years on, and he's flourishing. If only every child was so lucky. I mourn the ones I could never save, whose cries I never heard. In the boy's tears, I finally saw the suffering wrought by the villains of the wild. The Frontiers demanded a blade, and so I heeded.
How great could you be? I've never heard of you. And before that?
Baldur's Gate, born and raised, the only son of a single father. He wanted one life for me. I chose another. We haven't spoken since I left the city. A classic drama, a staunch father and his rebellious son. Better heard from the bard's lips than mine.
Go to camp and wait for me there. Stop training everybody to defend themselves. Go and sit in a tent.
Are you sure? The blade stands at the ready.
I'm sure. I'll find you in camp.
And just when things were warming up.
Okay, off he goes. Sorry kids, you're on your own. Oh, that's alright. Asherak is here.
I'll put that old bucket.
Okay, it's getting quite late. It's
These
almost
teepees
midnight.
prove fragile. I've a mind to end their misery myself.
Calm yourself. They're survivors, not soldiers.
I fail to see the distinction.
It's getting quite late, so I'm going to call it there for today. I normally would do this by going back to camp, but I'm just going to end it here because we've only just got to town and we haven't long taken a long rest. And then I'll start the next episode by exploring the rest of this town and seeing what's going on. So we need to speak to Nettie, who's hopefully going to extract the worm from our heads, or try to. There's a druid who's gone missing, and there's this ritual which we're going to try and stop, so all of the refugees don't get kicked out and eaten by monsters. I can't remember the name of the lady who's in charge, but yeah, so we need to go and see what we can do about that. Yes, there's a lot going on. We still have our wormies, but we've also recruited Wyll and Withers, so we've got 2 new camp members. I mean, Withers isn't somebody you can equip in your party and run around with, although I would love to see Withers in my party. I don't know what he would do fight-wise, but I would love to see it. So, all in all, a very productive episode. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you next time for episode 3. Have a good rest of your week, and take care of yourself until then. Bye, everybody!